Yep, we're back again. Now I'm gonna try a new mode here, guys, because the previous one was too wide. I switched the modes. I'm just trying this one now. I don't know if it's gonna work. Let's flip and hope so. Okay, guys, today I got a special request. It's quite hot, and we just had a bloody blackout, man, and people are over there doing sports. I don't know exactly. Maybe it's a sports day or whatever they're doing there. They're definitely trying to do some sports there. I try to zoom in. Oh, there she goes. I have to get closer to her, that's for sure. Why is she hiding? Why is she hiding from us? I'm gonna pick her up. No, she's disappeared into the maze, into the haze, guys. Sorry. Gonna have to wait a while to hopefully see her again. Okay. So my good friend, well, hopefully good friend to be. Why not? David, by the way, he's like a lot of foreign dudes that never had really. I don't know if he up close or in depth experience. No, that's rather rude of me. Experience of the Chinese female hood or female dom, or dom, D-O-M. That's a good word in Afrikaans, in my home language. That dom means dumb, D-U-M-B, dumb. We just spell it D-O-M, dom. So if you're a Domkopf, when the Germans say Dummkopf, okay. But anyway, if you're a Domkopf, you will kind of fall for the charms or the. Oh, I just finished a good breakfast. Mia made a lovely breakfast, omelette, very good with. Somebody's coming with veggies. Oh, ooh. Okay, anyway, somebody's getting off there. Oh yeah, next door. Okay, anyway, so if you are not very wise, you better be wise, man, if you ever go to China, because you see, you're a target. Not only all those criminals, all these predators, like I just explained in Thailand, and in China is exactly the same. Criminals, predators, everywhere, around every corner, every nook and cranny. You're gonna have a criminal, you're gonna have a scammer, you're gonna have a gangster, you're gonna have a liar, a cheater, a thief, everywhere. Okay, so that now first and foremost, the way that majority of people men get scammed in and females. I can tell you very interesting stories about Western white women getting scammed by Chinese men. Can you fucking believe this? But seriously. So anyway. The moment you arrive in China, you may just as well paint a huge target on your back, or even better, paint it right on your forehead. Here, a big fucking target. That's there. Boom. Because that's what you become. You become a moving target. And trust me, the Chinese are gonna. Ooh, wait a moment. I'm gonna have to go upstairs, guys. We got a bunch of ladies coming in here. Hello, ladies. How are you? How are you? Come in, please. You're very welcome. Hello. Oh, you just arrived by tricycle. Okay. I just arrived by tricycle. Hello. How are you?
Good morning.
Shake hands. Yeah, good boy. Yeah, very good. What's your name? What's your name?
Init.
What?
Dinichan.
Okay. How old are you? 7. Wow, you're a good boy. Okay, maybe you want to sit here. Here's the fan, okay? You want to sit here, or you want to sit there? Okay. Let me put the fan on here. Fan on Mia. Oh, Mia's here. Mia, the manager. She's here now. Okay. If you want, you can sit here. Okay. Hey? Oh, there's a brownout. Oh, sorry, ladies. There's the brownout just now. Anyway. Order. Maybe we will try to make it for you. Okay, don't worry. I think we can make burgers and everything. Okay, no problem. Okay. So I'm gonna go upstairs quick. Yes, guys. So if you ever, yes. So you're a prime target, right? Prime, man. You're prime. Prime target in China, in Thailand, right? Like I explained already about Thailand. Thailand, I just have one word. Fucking avoid. If you're there, get the fuck out. That's it. Out, out, out. 3 words. Or avoid, avoid, avoid. Another 3 words. Or whatever. So now China is a different beast, because in China you can actually make real money if you're clever, like myself. Okay, I'm not blowing my own horn, okay. But I not only survived, I thrived for 25 years pretty much in the greater China. I fucking thrived, I made sure. A couple of times I came into Taiwan in 1993 with equivalent of $10 in my pocket. I came into China in 1998 with the equivalent of $0 or zero of any fucking currency. I had absolutely not one, what do you call it in the US, dime. In South Africa we'd say not a penny. My father grew up during the time when it was the British Protectorate, the Union of South Africa, so they used pounds and pennies and shit. I learned a lot of colloquial English terms from my dad. Anyway, so not a single penny in my pocket, so I arrived in China in 1998. I survived for 1 whole month without any money. And when I arrived in London, England, I had 10 pounds in my pocket. That was the toughest. Trust me, it was much harder than... but of course, you know, I saw it through. I went 16 days without food in Manila, in the Philippines, because same problem. Okay, so in China, if you're clever and you know what you're doing, you know what you are doing, which 99% of people have not a fucking clue. Not a clue. The foreigners in China, they are sheep people, wildebeest, fucking hopeless, clueless. Oh, God. Okay, anyway, now when it comes to Chinese women, okay, how do they, you have to, don't abuse, criticize, or accuse before you walk a mile in their shoes, okay? So I perfectly understand how their minds, little minds function, okay, because it's like a computer, being on and off, on and off. It's very, very simplistic, okay? For a Chinese woman, the only thing there's only one word to describe them: narcissist. Narcissist. Okay, so they are totally, utterly narcissistic. Everything is about me, myself, I, me, myself, I, me, myself, I. And after that, after me, and me, myself, I can never be independent from her family, ever. Because we didn't kill you when you were born. We didn't fucking drown you in a bucket. We didn't murder you before you were born by fucking flushing you out, okay, as a fetus. So you owe us, and we didn't sell you off just the moment you were born, because millions and millions of Chinese little baby girls are fucking getting sold off at birth. That's a huge trade. And of course, millions more are murdered, or whatever you want to call it. There's a huge imbalance. It's either 50 million, the population of fucking many big countries in Europe, the population of South Africa. The shortage of women in China is 50 million women. That means 50 million men cannot physically have a wife or a girlfriend. That's why now paradoxically, the value of women have shot up through the roof because there are so few of them, right? Now anyway, you're born a girl, you're born female in China, right? Which is probably the last thing you ever want in your life. Now, the only way for you to look at life is like, I want the fuck out. Well, not of life, but out of China first. We're all going to get out of life at some point. It's called the Great Departure. And then, so how do they get out of China? They can fucking go and see a snakehead, which millions of them do, by the way, because they're born ignorant, they're born dumb. I mean, people like Wendy Deng, she latched onto this old billionaire dude from Australia. Fucking guy was acting like a sexpat tourist. Dumbest, you know. How did he build up his money? He doesn't have much savvy. But anyway, and to think that Tony Blair was a stooge of this dude, yeah. Can you see where it's all going? Okay, anyway, and Tony Blair also fell for fucking Wendy Deng. she got so many American and Western men by the fucking balls. That's amazing. This woman. She was a one woman wrecking machine, man eater, man. Anyway, I keep on getting sidetracked here because it's so fucking funny. It's so funny. Okay, so you walk into China, you're a prime target because that is what you are. You are a ticket, not only a meal ticket. You are a fucking physical ticket out of China to heaven, what they imagine to be heaven, which of course, heaven number one is the USA. That for the Chinese, that's the ultimate heaven. If you're an American, you are equivalent to Jesus Christ. Seriously, I'm not even exaggerating here. You can walk on water. Okay, but that's another topic. Okay, I'm gonna explain much more about that. Okay, so anyway, any foreigner will do. By the way, they don't give a shit. So they just want to get the fuck out of China. That's it. Bottom line, out of China. And she will be if the moment her family gets a sniff that she knows she met a foreigner, oh my God, it'll be like, bingo, 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 bingo. Fucking all the lights will be, all the bells will be ringing, all the lights will be, like in the casino when you hit the jackpot, and they will all sit down and plan. They will start to manipulate the situation very carefully as they can. The problem with the Chinese are, though, it's like the first, like I said, the first thing is narcissistic, right? Me myself. The second problem is greed. These are the two things that no Chinese women can ever control. No matter how clever they are and how cleverly they try to hide it, ultimately they cannot hide it because it comes out. It's like a fucking nightmare. When you're asleep, you started screaming. Like, I have nightmares. I start talking in my sleep. My girlfriend has to wake me up almost every night. But anyway, the point is that, like a nightmare, these two traits, narcissism and fucking pure unadulterated greed, is gonna manifest in a million little what is a good word there? Oh fuck, my English is so shitty. Sorry guys. A myriad of little ways, teeny tiny little ways. It's gonna manifest, and then it becomes slowly, gradually, it'll be growing. And in the end, it'll become a full-blown monster, man. I met this guy. Let me give you a quick example. Example's always the best. A few years ago in Shenzhen, China, I was walking around the Shekou Haiseng SeaWorld there, which is a very upscale area now, very, very upscale, where all the foreigners, it's like a foreign ghetto, basically, right? So a lot of Chinese go there. It's almost like a tourist attraction to see foreigners in their natural habitat, in McDonald's, in KFC, in fucking Starbucks, and fucking sitting, blah blah blah. That's actually a tourist attraction in China. So this dude arrived, a young dude, man, in his 20s, straight from the USA, and he met a Chinese woman online. Now listen to this. This guy studied Japanese, okay? Then because he wanted to marry a Japanese woman, right? Somehow while he was, and then when he's fluent in Japanese. He was very impressive. I met him and he was showing me he could read and write Japanese very impressively. And then he said, oh, you know what, but while I was online looking for a Japanese woman, I bumped into this Chinese girl, and then I flew in here. I said, when? Oh, about a month or 2 months ago. I said, okay, what happened? He's like, oh, I got married the next week. I said, what? A girl that you met online, you flew in here and you married her a week later. Yeah. I'm like, okay. And while we were sitting there, I think it was the McDonald's actually, having a coffee, and suddenly his phone is fucking going berserker. All the time his phone was ringing, but he was killing it. In the end, he was like, oh shit, he was going like, she's looking for me again. He had that already, after a month or two of marriage, he had that haunted look in his eyes, like. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, my wife, she wouldn't let me go out at all. She doesn't want me to be alone. I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, fine. Anyway, and then the phone went berserker. He's like, okay, I gotta go. Last time she went berserker, she even tried to attack me. I said, what? He's like, yeah, man. And I'm like, okay, fine. I said, look, yes, this is my number. If you get any chance, call me. And then we can hang out. I said, there's games, so we can watch a rugby game in the pub, whatever, And it's like, okay, fine, thank you, burp. And sure enough, about a month later, I got a message from this guy. Or maybe I sent him. Oh no, I was in the pub with two Chinese friends, and I sent him a message. Hey, I'm in the pub here, like the one I told you, and if you want to come down. So just 30 minutes later, he shows up. orders a beer. Before he could start drinking, I'm not kidding you, a Chinese woman walked in, and her face was just like very hostile, very hostile. And he tried to introduce me to her, and he was like, "Oh, this is Frank, Danny, and the one I told you about." And she just like, you could see that if she could fucking incinerate me right there with her eyes, she would have done it immediately. She just hated my guts because this guy is her fucking bread ticket. He is her ticket out of there. And she had all this set up over many months on the internet that she's going to marry a foreigner, especially American. And now suddenly he's out here, out, unprotected, talking to people like me who's going to inform him. And then she stood right next to it. I said to her, "Oh, okay, sit down." I tried to be polite and nice, like I invariably I am always. And then she refused to sit down. And then she said, "Come." And then he was like, "Oh, honey, I just ordered." He was such a fucking poofter, "Oh, I just ordered a beer. Can I finish it?" And she just said to him, "Drink it." And he grabbed the beer, and it's like a big mug, and he tried to drink it down, and after halfway, he was like, he put it down. I'm not fucking kidding you. I mean, I'm sitting with my two Chinese friends, right? Two older businessmen. The guy I told you about, the guy I named his daughter. And she literally, and he was like, oh, honey, just a moment, I just, it's too fast, and it's too cold. She grabbed the mug of beer, she fucking pushed it into his face, slammed it into his face, like this. Drink! And he was like, oh. And then he stood up and he was like, oh, the married life, in China. And then she literally fucking dragged him away. Okay? Now, this may sound like a fucking over-exaggerated example, but it's not. It's fucking not even close. My other friend, God bless him, I don't know if he's fucking still alive, dude. He hooked up with two Chinese women, two. Both of them were fucking disastrous. The only good thing is that for the first one, she latched onto him, and he married her, same thing. He married her like this, and then her true talents, the true colors, the talents came out. And and then he was Australian, or I hope he's still alive. Doug, hey Doug, I hope you're fucking alive, dude. Him and me were best buddies, He was like I think a professional rugby player in Australia or something. Huge guy, 6'5", maybe 130, 40, 50 kilogram. Nice dude. He was a associate professor, and he was teaching in the international school in Shako. Anyway, his first wife, he came from the middle of China, where he met this crazy woman. She was also at the school where he was teaching. She was also a teacher. Anyway, they married, and then he told me like how she would attack him with a fucking machete, dude. He couldn't, in the end, he had to lock himself in his room at night and lock the door, and then she would fucking try to smash the door with. So in the end, he basically ran from this bitch, and then she came down at some point, and then she begged him, "Okay, we are married, it's your duty, you gotta da-da-da-da-da-da," and she got him to give her invitation to Australia. She went to Australia, she made a fortune, she very quickly hooked onto a rich Australian dude. She came back to, I saw her a couple of years later. She came back, she was very happy. Oh, she called me. Can you fucking believe this? And oh no, I just saw her by the pub. I didn't recognize her. She called me over. "Hey Frank, you remember me?" And I'm like, "No." She was literally double what she used to. She used to be quite okay, but she was double fat. "I found a rich Australian guy who I live in a big house," and she was drinking like a fish, like an Australian woman, I guess. And very unpleasant, very unpleasant. She started crying. She was, she got the normal Chinese, like I said, narcissistic tendencies, just clearly showing. So anyway, but he was clever enough, my buddy. He got rid of her. He sent her to Australia, and he made her pay. He said to her, "Okay, you send me fucking." I think she gave him $10,000 Australian dollars. So he got money out of it. Even he married, he divorced, and he sent her to Australia. She got what she wanted. He got what, and then he hooked up with another one, another older one. I think in her late 30s or 40s, and she was fucking paranoid, dude. But even by Chinese standards, all Chinese are paranoid. But she was super paranoid. She literally locked him in her apartment. One day he escaped and he called me from the bar. Hey, it was the rugby was on, Australia and South Africa. That was our favorite hobby because he was a rugby player, I was a rugby player. And while we were in the bar watching the game, she fucking walked in there and straight away she started swearing at me. You fucking this, you fucking that. And she attacked him physically, tried to kick him and punch him. He's a huge guy. She was just a normal Chinese woman. I walked straight out of the bar. I walked a mile and he was walking after me. She was running after us, swearing and fucking for 1 kilometer in public, okay? Then that same night, a day later, later in the day or the night, he called me. Oh, the police. She called her friend, the chief of police, laying a charge that he assaulted her because she tried to punch him so many times. She hurt her hand and she hurt her foot. And he was given a serious warning by the police, never ever to leave the apartment, to obey her. About a month later, I never heard, she took away his phone, he couldn't communicate, she took away his computer, he couldn't communicate with me. A month later, I got a call from overseas, from Indonesia. It was dark. Hey dude, I escaped, I managed to get out, I fucking went straight to the airport, I'm now in Indonesia. Did you see that little girl walking around with a chopper looking for me? I'm just like, dog, for fuck's sakes, dude. Okay guys, so I'm out of battery now, sorry. So these are just two of the little stories I have to tell. There are many others, okay? So if you just think about, look dude, it's a huge, massive trap. It's a fucking start to all your misery. You got unimaginable, you know, you're gonna go through the worst hell ever. I know there are guys say, oh, I'm very happily married to a Chinese. Okay, good luck. There's always the exception. There's always the exception, okay? But finding that 1 in a million is not as easy as you think. It's not as easy as you think. And once they got you by the balls, they will not let fucking go without at least a ball or two there. So okay, do whatever you want. I'm just giving you the examples, okay? And I have no interest in Chinese women. Absolutely none. Zero. Zilch. Mayo. Fuck all. But good luck to any of you out there, okay? Hey, I'm signing off here now, and we'll make another follow-up and give you more examples of the lovely ladies, the smiling ladies. We are Chinese. We like to please. Oh, shit.